Hi guys, it's Ian here, and I do hope that you've been wrapping up if you live somewhere in the northern hemisphere and it is cold. Now it has gone so cold, but you know what? The cold doesn't stop me from filming this video today. And you know, I also have to say that I do apologize as I've been a bit quiet lately on the channel as I've been really busy traveling for the past few weeks. So I thought I'd give you some of my thoughts today. But anyway, before we get going guys, I would like to just make you aware of my various social media platforms where I post regular content on there too. So please do follow me on my various social media as indicated below, and also don't forget to click on that little bell icon right down below beneath the video to alert you of any new videos going forward. Alright guys, now the format of today will be a little bit different because I'm going to be shedding some light on the benefits of having a social circle of mostly female friends in your life in general. Now this is quite different, so I hope that you enjoy watching this. So the topic today really came to my mind lately when I thought back to a really dear friend of mine who I used to study with. You know, someone I really do miss a lot and I really need to get in contact with. So in terms of my studying, you know, I have to admit, I was a bit of a geek at school. I mean, I used to study quite hard and I didn't really go out much. I mean, you probably find that hard to believe, but guys, it is true. I was a calm kid, and when I started university, it was the same kind of story until I met a friend of mine. Now let's call him Bob for today's sake. Now you see, Bob, he was very different and he was very unique amongst the crowd of other men, as he didn't only socialize with men. Now what I mean to say is, he didn't only have male friends he used to hang out with. No. You see, Bob had a mixture of male and female friends. Okay, there's nothing unusual, I suppose, but you know, what I want to say is that was until we started to go out together. So you see, Bob invites me out with him one evening and he was incredibly sociable. He loved to socialize, my God, a social butterfly, some might call him. So he invites me out and it was always somewhere extravagant with him. This guy had some class. Now on my way there to that night out, I realized that it's a quite high-end restaurant that I'm going to, a really nice place. So I step inside the venue, and as I come through that door, I see Bob sitting there with a really healthy mix of really attractive guys and girls around him. Okay, that's nice, I thought. You know, my first thought in my old self was that this was a great opportunity for me to meet new people, which is always good. And so we did dine together, we had a few laughs and we had a few drinks, and then we headed on over to a bar afterwards. Now, when we were at the bar, it quickly dawned on me that this guy was an incredible social butterfly. And it all made sense to me, guys, when I saw it from my own eyes. I mean, guys, it's not only that, but simply being part of that big mixed group really relaxes the entire environment, and it really makes things so much easier to initiate conversations, say with others around you in that bar. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating when you see it happening. I don't know whether, you know, it's that fun factor element or the fact that when you're in a big group, you all tend to be cheerful and you're much more sociable in general. But no, I am pretty sure that there's more to it here, guys. Now, it was the sheer fact that there were girls in the group too. And it kind of eliminates that perception that it's a big group of guys or people who are out on the pool, and it just looks far less intimidating to those public eyes. I mean, it was the fact that we're in this healthy mixed group. That is it. I mean, seriously, Bob and I were talking and we were approaching others in the bar like they were part of our own group. I mean, we kind of set that scene for the bar and expanded our group, and that's really all it is. I mean, it might seem quite obvious when you think about it, but it's really not that common nowadays. You know, so Bob really believed in maintaining this big group where, you know, wherever he went, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, he was more of a believer of, you know, doing that work beforehand, and what I mean is he was a believer of establishing, like say, a mixed group of guys and girls right beforehand, rather than taking a tremendous amount of action within the actual venue or bar. I mean, I was always of the school of thought of, you know, I want to keep things simple and I'm approaching whoever I'm attracted to there and then. But, you know, he was unique in that he really believed in maintaining this big group. And as you can imagine, we were a dangerous pair. I mean, on a more serious note, this really is interesting. And it's interesting to meet people who has different views on the whole dating scene. And it's actually really refreshing. I mean, I have to say, I learned a lot from Bob, and I myself, I've started to develop these herds or groups that I take to clubs and bars with me. I mean, guys, for those of you who think it's just not worth it, or it's just not worth the effort of organizing, you are so completely wrong here. Now, when I tried it myself recently, you can get some awesome success in that sometimes you just don't even need to approach. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, I would literally just show up with my mini group of mostly girls, and I tell you, I would get bumped into more than a few times. And I'm not talking about an accidental bump here. I'm talking about, repetitive bumps by those same individuals, same girls. And it doesn't take a genius to quickly realize that something is going on here. So guys, you see, at this stage, you may be thinking, or you may not be sure how you can establish this big group of friends to go out with. I admit that it does take a lot of time and a lot of effort and work to get the right guys and girls to go out with you. But this is effort that is totally and absolutely worth it at the end. I mean, you probably can't see the point of hanging out with people who you're not really friends with, or, in the worst case, you have those guys who just can't be friends with a girl. I mean, come on. You've been indoctrinated to think that us men and women, we can't be equal, or we just can't hang out like companions. I mean, guys, you can learn a hell of a lot in terms of socializing when you're hanging out with the opposite sex. And I would strongly encourage it, as it's very healthy for your energy levels too. I mean, my old friend Bob, he put in a lot of effort to maintain his social circle, but it's actually not that hard when you do it all the time. I mean, the mind gets really used to it, and it becomes like second nature, just like anything. You see, the hardest part of any endeavor, I guess, is starting that initial process and getting that ball rolling and getting used to talking to A, to B, and to C. But honestly, after a while, it gets so easy and it becomes like second nature. So go out there and start your social circle planning. I mean, even putting dating aside, you will meet some awesome people, some awesome girls who are performing at very high levels in various industries, and it's a great way to develop yourself too. And let's not forget about the whole dating aspect either, as you'll definitely benefit dating wise. So I would suggest to start small, take baby steps, and increase your social circle as time goes on. Okay, so, what could be a way to start the process? Well, perhaps think of a female friend who you have and get in touch with her a bit more regularly. Okay, I'm hoping that you have someone in mind and you're not just scratching your head. But, seriously, not to worry. And even if you are, if you can't think of anyone that guys, the world is truly your oyster now. And if you don't have a female friend that you have in mind, then I would suggest just going outside and approaching a girl that you can befriend. Approach any girl that you see and try to have a decent conversation with her to generate enough rapport. I mean, I know that you don't want to go up to her and just simply ask her to be friends with you from the get-go, because, that might creep her out a bit. So what I would advocate is, just approach her very normally. Try to have a decent and a longer conversation with her. Throw some hints of, you perhaps, say, having a girlfriend, and, ask her for a number. I mean, yes, I know this sounds so counterintuitive to you right now, and you're probably thinking, has Ian lost his mind? But trust me, this is the first step in building your social circle and your empire when you go out at nights and to the bars. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and these things do take a bit of time and a bit of patience, but believe you me, it is so worth it in the end, and you can end up just like my friend Bob. I mean, so effortlessly when he goes out without even himself initiating those conversations for most of the time. Now, honest to God, it amazes me how little effort he actually puts into initiating those conversations when I bust my balls in so many different types of approaching situations. I mean, he makes it look like an absolute joke. Guys, it is so worth it in the end on all levels. But you see, the main challenge for you is starting out and putting in that first effort in starting your circle. I mean, I would therefore suggest that go out there really and, get dressed up. Go out there because no one else and no one will ever do it for you. Go out there, make that first small push, and you don't need to expect any miracles. It's the effort that counts. Each day you will learn more and you'll get more confidence, and you'll eventually have a really nice social circle of girls you can go out with in the evenings. So seriously, go out there and do that first approach and befriend her. Once you've made up your mind that you're gonna do it, you're already 50% of the way there, guys. You're almost there. And the more and more your mind focuses on that goal, you will eventually get there. Believe you me, you always will. Because your actions, guys, follow your thoughts, and you will get that determination. Guys, life is just too short to be unhappy. I mean, to be living in mediocrity and, not to be taking those risks in dating. So build yourself that happy life and put in that effort. So take that leap of faith and take that deep breath and just jump in there, and it will become like second nature before you even know it. Anyways guys, enough of my little rant, but I really do hope that you've enjoyed this one, and I'm going to be publishing many more videos of this type very, very soon. Please do put your comments right down below, as your support is always greatly appreciated. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and today you were joined by Iain Myles, and I will see you next time.